No, no. I, when I hear clock, I'm looking for my father over my shoulder. My name is Derek. That's my name. Clark is my father name. So my name is Derek. All right, wonderful. Peace. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Wonderful. Peace, blessings, enough, whole heap, plenty, a lot of love to all our global kings and queens in the house. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. And I am Derek. My name is Derek. Um, and it's so wonderful to be here. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much, Queen Marie. Really appreciate your welcoming. You'll be doing an official welcome in a few seconds. But first of all, we just want to thank you all for coming out to the Dream Team webinar this Sunday, 9th February. Really appreciate all of you joining us here on the Zoom and, of course, live on the different and varied social media platforms. Thank you very much for joining the Dream Team webinar. And so at this time, we are going to engage in the official welcome by our own Queen Marie.
Dr. Derek. Thank you. My name is Marie Pendy. I am chiming in from the great state of Virginia, USA. I am one of the people who greet everybody. We've gone around and called almost everybody's name to welcome you to a great webinar, another session of our webinar. We have a great speaker today, and we just want to welcome you and appreciate your time that you invest every week to come and contribute to our webinar. Thank you so much and welcome. Over to you, Derek.
All right, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Marie. Really appreciate it. And of course, I personally want to welcome and thank our very own Queen Lerato Shadare for coming to us this morning, this afternoon here on Dream Team because we haven't seen her for a long while. And so the theme song that we choose to use, the one and only theme song that we choose to use here in Dream Team is the one and only theme song from our wonderful, beautiful, wonderful, beautiful, beautiful, wonderful Queen Lerato Shadare, who is our, recording international singing artist that provided us with this song, In It to Win It. You have to be in it before you can even consider or think to win it. And so, without any further ado, we will be playing that as our theme song, In It to Win It, by Queen Lerato Shadare, who will be singing that song. And in the background video, you'll be seeing videos of some marketing that this company has dealt with thus far. And we are going to play that song at this time. So please perk up your ears, perk up your eyes as we play the song In It to Win It by our one and only recording singing artist, Queen Lerato Shadare.
progress.
Hand in hand, we are the unicorn. We are the stars. In it to win it. In it to win it. To win it. In it to win it. In it to win it. 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 Time to we are the unicorn. We are the star. Standing strong in time. We are the unicorn. We are the
Your next stop is Impassive.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
All right. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Lerato Shadare. Really appreciate, really appreciate both you and the song. Excuse me. And we definitely love you. Really appreciate. And I hope, I definitely maybe see that you're feeling better. And we give thanks for that. All right. So, moving right along, most definitely. And as the program continues, we are going to turn it over to our monitors. Over to you.
Greetings. Who is monitoring today? In Kanla? I don't see Dr. Patience.
All right, wonderful. It seems as if there's a little technical difficulty. That's all right, not to worry. We'll just move right along because moving right along, we are going to be dealing first and foremost with the mindset. The mindset. That is my favorite topic. My favorite topic is the mindset because the word said, let this mind be in you that is in Christ Jesus. And yes, we are created in his image. And so from once we keep the image of Christ, which is love, that's the image of Christ, you know. The image of Christ is love. And so if we live in love, then we'll be such nice, or nicer than a turtle dove. And we know that turtle doves are very nice. And so just live in love. You know, Wonderful. And so, therefore, at this time, I do know that the mindset, I see the primary mindset presenter here with us today. So I hope that it is none other than the one who gave us the theme song that we are using here in Dream Team is the same person that will be doing the mindset this morning, this afternoon, this evening, whatever it is in your neck of the woods. Most definitely, we will be having the mindset from our one and only um, singing, recording, international artist, most definitely Queen Lerato Shadare. Over to you, Queen Lerato Shadare.
Oh, can you hear me?
We can hear you fine.
It
Greetings.
is so good to be here after such a long time. Thank you so much, Dr. Derek. It's so wonderful to see everyone here. Thank you. I mean, you were talking about the song, but the work that you do with the song is really, really amazing. So thank you so much. It's so good to see all of you here. It's been such a long time. It's been, 2025 started and just everything with life was lifing. But I'm here and I'm happy to be here. I'm happy for life. I'm happy that, always say that a new day is an opportunity to do everything better and even more grandiose. And so for me, living alone, life alone is so wonderful. And every day I look for better ways to live my life. And the most important thing about me living my life better is love, doing everything in the spirit of love and in the spirit in light as well. So on that note, I will just say what my beautiful Dr. Benny says all the time, that we don't come here by ourselves. We don't decide, like there's a higher power that controls everything. And so it would be very arrogant to think that the breath that we have in our lungs, we created ourselves. So our creator brought us here. So it's good to give thanks to our creator and to acknowledge that life comes from him and everything good comes from him. In him we live and move and have our being. So it's just wonderful to be here and to see my family. So I'm still recovering. I'm on my way to recovery, and yeah, I'm happy at where I am right now, and yeah, so I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here. And I know that you've discussed a lot of things. I know my sister here, Yvonne, you were doing the mindset. So I don't know on which theme you were on. Maybe I can just hop onto what you were talking about or what you've been sharing, because I would like to join you and just move on with that.
I haven't done it in a while, sister, but something, choices. The choices is always an important one. So go with that one.
Exactly. Choices are wow, beautiful. And choices are very good, because today I was thinking about focusing on possibilities instead of focusing on impossibilities. A lot of us, when we want things, when we are praying for things, or we want things, or we want certain things to happen in our lives, most of the time we tend to focus on the impossibilities, or we get stuck in our because a lot of people we thrive, our society thrives on instant gratification. We live in an age where everything has to happen now, 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 now. We don't wait for TV programs anymore. You can just go on Netflix and binge on everything, watch everything in 2 days. We don't wait anymore, right? So we expect everything to be like that. And we have so much at the same time. And then we even don't stop to appreciate anymore, because we are so flooded with so many things. I remember one person was saying, but why do we need so much? Even with the food industry, with everything that we do in this day and age, everything is just over flooded, and there's too much happening at the same time. And when you have access of everything and everything is happening at the same time, sometimes we don't stop and breathe and appreciate small things that are happening in our lives, or blessings that are coming. We tend to overlook those things. So, and then now when we are looking or striving for certain things, or we want certain things to happen in our lives, we get depressed when those things don't happen immediately. When things don't happen immediately, or in the timeline that we set for ourselves, forgetting that everybody has a purpose on this planet and certain things happen at a specific time, because it's not only about your life, it's about everything being in synergy together, because your life alone is not just the life that is just here. There's so many things. There's a great scheme in the grand scheme of everything. Your life, everything is connected. So there are certain things that will not happen when you want them to happen, because they rhyme, or there's a specific time that they're supposed to happen. You're right. So because everything is interwoven. And it's the same thing that I think also for a company, that, for me, I don't see this bump as a delay. I don't see it as a delay. I see it as something that needs to happen in order to trigger other things that will, take us through this journey. I don't see it as a delay. Right. So that's why I want us now. My sister spoke about choices. I want us to choose and be deliberate about choosing to focus on possibilities instead of impossibilities, to focus on solutions in every area of our lives, in all areas of our lives. In oh my God, the last few weeks have been really, really tough. And had I gone into my experiences with a mindset of woe, defeat, and woe me, I don't think that I would be here now, right? So I focused on my health. I focused on recovery. I focused on possibilities. Okay, if this is what I'm presented with, what are my other choices? My other choices to keep my mindset straight. My choices to do my research, but also allow things to happen and take their course. And, just to look for solutions instead of sitting in war me, right, in that mindset of doom and gloom. I don't do that. So this also helps me to live my life intentionally, and to live my life focusing on the things that I want, which is greatness, which is prosperity, which my life to prosper, whether it's my health, whether it's whatever, everything about myself has to prosper. So prosperity, or wishing or aspiring for prosperity, doesn't mean that there won't be challenges in your life. All of us are here, challenges will come. But the mindset that we go into those challenges with matters. If we go with the right mindset, sometimes you'll find that whatever that you've been dealing with, it looks like it's been shortened, because your mindset, you don't focus on negativity. You focus on positivity. So you start attracting those things that will help you to move forward, right? You now start attracting the right people to be in your life to help you move forward. Your destiny helpers, all these things that will help you move forward. When you focus on possibilities, you allow them to come in. Yeah, the art of allowing things to come in, and it can only happen when you're in the right mindset, right? So it's really good what you said, Sister Yvonne, right? So, and the other thing, when we focus on our possibilities and we focus on solutions, we also have to have patience. The spirit, that thing, that patience, right? I'm also one of the people that struggle with patience, especially when I'm not feeling well, because I'm always healthy, bouncy. I do 100 things at the same time. I'm an artist, right? So sometimes if I'm not feeling well, I get impatient with myself. I want the healing to happen in 2 seconds. I'm like, I want it to happen now, 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 now. I want to be on the move, because sometimes I feel so, when you can't do the things that you usually do with ease, especially when you're incapacitated or you're not feeling well, whatever, I get impatient with myself. But when I focus on, listen, the healing period will take the amount of time that it needs. So in between me waiting for that thing to happen and then my body to heal and to recover, I'm going to have to be very patient with myself. I'm going to have to be very loving to myself, and my mindset will have to be very sharp, because then I'll be helping. By me being in the right mindset, I'm also helping my body to heal and to recover. But if I sit there and start thinking all types of negativities, think about war and gloom, I'm making the situation even worse for myself, because the right mindset helps you to pull through. There are doctors that said, there are people, they'll be in a dire situation where you think, okay, then it's done. But some people will come through that and you will think that it's a miracle. You will think, wow, you will credit it to the miracle. But when they talk about how the attitude of the people and what pulled them through, they will tell you that these people were negative. The doctor gave them a certain report. They were like, no, not me. As much as you have this report, I know that I'm going to pull through. So that will, that push, that believing, keeping the right mindset also help their bodies to heal, right? So it's the same thing with us in everything that we do. just this building wealth too. If we are going to build wealth and be sustainable, we have to understand that certain things takes time, and you have to be patient and be committed to that goal. And I know I'm talking to people who are committed because we're here. We're very committed to this goal. And we're here. We're committed to on passive. We're committed to our winning. We're committed. We're people who have the right mindset. It's just that we're sharpening each other all the time. But it doesn't mean that if we didn't have the right mindset, we would have said, okay, let it all burn. We wouldn't be here, right? But I trust I'm talking to winners. I'm talking to people who have the right mindset. It's just that we're sharpening one another and say, hey, let's focus on this now. Let's build this. Let's get stronger here, right? So being patient, when you build wealth, takes a lot of patience and a lot of tries. We spoke about Newton. We spoke about so many people that have tried. They fell, they dusted themselves off, and then they succeeded at the end. Why? Because they didn't give up. Why? Because they had the right mindset. They were saying, okay, so this is not working like this. Let's focus on possibility. What is possible? Where can we fix this? What needs to be done? If it didn't succeed this way, let's change the course. Let's change, let's change our plan. How can we make it work? Okay, let's shift. Let's be flexible. Flexibility as well. Let's be flexible. Let's take another approach. But they didn't give up. They didn't say, okay, it didn't work one time, it didn't work two times, it didn't work three times. Okay, that's it. Let it all burn. I'm done. Right? So I'm really, really glad to be here because I know that I'm here with winners. I'm here with people who are serious about fulfilling their destinies. Some of us are already walking in that path of fulfilling our destinies. We just want more out of life. We want more out of life. All right. We want more. We want to contribute to also more into life. And that's why we're here. Right? So most of us here, some of the people are already in careers and things that they're doing in their life, but they want to make sure that when all of us are gone, whatever that we deposit in this life is, we have given everything to this life, right? We've given everything to this life and there's nothing left, right? So, and that's why we're here. Right? Some of us are saying, yes, we want prosperity because we know that when we prosper, everything about us, about our lives, everything about environment prospers too. So money in the right hands can do way, it can do so much good, right? And that's why we're here and we're committed to that process. We're committed to the journey because this is not a sprint, it's a marathon. We are in for a marathon. Some of us didn't know this at the beginning and we fell off the wayside because we didn't have the right material to pull through for a marathon. A lot of people were looking for a sprint. They were looking, okay, we're joining on passive. Everything happens. I'm sorry, my son's phone is ringing. Please give me a second. So some of us were looking to on passive to everything to just happen in 2 seconds, right? We were looking for everything to just work out in 2 seconds and everything to just come. We're multimillionaires in 2 seconds, but it's a marathon. So we didn't take the right tools for us to pull us through when we're facing things. We didn't have the right tools. So it's important, like Dr. Derek said, that the mindset, whatever you pack yourself with, everything, all those how to say, attributes, the things that you need to succeed, the strength that you need to succeed, or whatever you have to pack in your backpack when you're taking this marathon, is very important so that you don't fall off at the wayside or give up too early or too easily, right? So I'm so happy that we have people here that are not giving up. They're not giver uppers. That's my own word. Now I created it. We are not giver uppers. We are not giving up. Like, we're not letting it go, right? We're here for the long run. We're here for the marathon. And when we know, well, to train for a good marathon, you have to have really good training. You have to know good nutrition. You have to really prepare well, also mentally as well, right? So the way to financial success is not a sprint. For us all here to win and to fulfill our destiny, it's not a sprint, guys. It's a marathon. So we have to be prepared for it and stay prepared and make choices that support life and goodness that we want in our lives. We constantly have to make choices and be deliberate about how we want to live our lives. And every day being deliberate of how we choose the pace of our day. All right. The pace of our day, speaking good into our life, speaking good into our day, speaking like being intentional. When you wake up, be like, today I'm going to win. And even if things come, challenges, I'm still winning because the mindset that I will take on everything matters. It will be the one to determine on the long run, at the end of all of it, it will determine who's going to come out a winner at this race called life. Right. So thank you so much, guys. I'm going to now prepare even more. We have a lot to talk about. I lost so much time in the time that I was, taking my downtime. But I'm happy that there were many capable people here that were helping and sharpening you guys and keeping you on the course. I'm really, really, really happy to see all of you. And yeah, I will say that in case you didn't hear it, I love you so much. And thank you for this opportunity.
Love you too, sister. Thank you.
Yes.
We do thank you for your presentation today. Really appreciate, really appreciate. Thank you very much, Queen Lerato Shadare, for that awesome presentation that you gave. But before we do take, any comments or what have you, we are going to dive right into our next presentation so that we can get those things moving right along. And so the next person that we will be calling upon is none other than Queen Kanla Rahel Neng, our next presenter. And of course, she will be presenting to us the whole aspect of true understanding of DEI. We might have to do an investigation on what that abbreviation mean, because there's so many abbreviations flying around in our life today. FBI, CIA, MIA, and all those, abbreviation going all over the place. One more now is DEI. And so we are going to look at the understanding of what the DEI is, and it's none other than our own presenter, Queen Kanla Rahel Neng, will be presenting for us today. Entrepreneur, international speaker, the works. And over to you, Queen Kanla.
And sorry, Dr. Derek, she's asking me to unmute her, but I don't even see her in the lineup. So I know that I should be able to do that, but I don't actually see her. Do you see her, sir?
Unmute yourself now, Kanla.
Maybe she jumped out, but I saw
guess
her
if she could,
earlier.
she wouldn't be asking to do it, but I don't see
She's
her.
fine. She has unmuted herself.
Okay, great. Thank you, sister. Okay.
Yes, I can now.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Yes. All right. Oh my goodness, Dr. Derek, thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. I am humbled. I am honored to be with the Dream Team webinar and every unpassive affiliate user. We are one family. Whether you're listening, you're watching through the YouTube, or you're here with us in the Zoom, it is always my pleasure and honor to present to you, especially when I come for us to have conversations with topics like this: diversity, inclusion, and equity. We all are familiar with, we experience any day. But I cannot begin without saying thank you to our welcome team, Sister Marie and Brother Alfred and the team, to our moderators, Sister Debbie, Sister Pat. Thank you so much, Sister Marie, and also as well the chat monitor, Sister Yvonne, Dr. Dibeni, and all the other members that are running the show behind the scene, Dr. John. Thank you. Thank you. I want to acknowledge you and Sister Pat for the wonderful platform that we've been running so far. It's been just wonderful and we appreciate it. So thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And now to our Queen, Lerato. It was so nice to see you, sis. It was a delight to hear you, listen to you. And guess what? Your theme or your mindset for today, focusing on possibilities. Yes, let us not strive instead on things that we cannot do, the impossibilities, but let us have that mindset, the positive mindset on the possibilities. And what better way to coin that phrase and take us into our presentation today, given the current atmosphere that we are, not only here, for those of us who are here in America, but how this whole theme of diversity, inclusion, and equity is having an effect, even with outside of the United States, because all of us, we come from different places. We are unique and we are different. So thank you. Thank you so much for that topic. And while I share my screen, Sister Yvonne, please do let me know when you see it come on.
It's there now, sister.
Okay. So let me do. Okay. Do you see the presenter's view or you still see?
Okay, no, it's gone again. It's popped out. So I did see where it says next presentation. So I don't know if that's what you mean, but we're not seeing it anymore. It's gone. It's popped out.
Okay, but what do you see just the first slide, the whole slide?
I did, yes.
Okay.
But now we're just seeing the background now again for today. We're not seeing the presentation.
That is, yes, that is good. That's correct. That is
Okay,
that is the first slide of the presentation.
Okay, all right.
Awesome. All right. So yes, we are good to go and to begin. So please, some of the conversations for those of us that have been part of the previous webinars, we will recall that we had already gone in depth on what diversity is, on what equity is, on what inclusion is, and even expanded it and related it or correlated it to our real lives and even our own passive business. So why did I choose this topic for us at this time? Understanding DEI. Diversity, equity, inclusion. This is the context in which we will be having our webinar today. We already know diversity, who? Each one of us is a diverse human being. We are created in God's image, unique. No two human beings are alike. We may have certain similarities, whether it's features or mannerisms or behaviors, even twins, triplets, quadruplets. But each person is still unique in its way. So our humanity, we are diverse by human nature. You, me, everybody. And so that diversity we come with is a huge part of what shapes who we are, what we do in our lives. But I will not go into details defining and trying to explain further. Again, you can please reference existing Dream Team webinars for more details. So to allow us to get into the core or the continuation of diversity, inclusion, and equity, which is understanding DEI. And we cannot have an understanding of DEI without asking the question, why? The historical context, or how did it come about? And now we know, I know some of us know, but again, for educational purposes and to fill those who may not be aware, the roots of diversity, inclusion, and equity stems from all the way from the civil rights movement in the mid-20th century and the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which was signed into law by then President Lyndon Johnson. What was the goal? What was the objective? To prohibit employment discrimination. Here in the United States, within government, within the states, from discriminating from other people who did not look like them, whether your race, your religion, your national origin. And when we talk of discrimination, it was Caucasians from other people of minority. But then why? Why now are we asking these questions? Because in the recent events from as of last year, United States presidential election, we started seeing so many questions, so many people talking about DEI. It became the center of conversation. And even currently, it is still a center of conversation, and many more of us are becoming to learn about DEI and understand what truly DEI means. And truly, it was surprising to realize that many more of us, whether employees with the federal government, the state, or even international, abroad, did not have a full grasp of what it means and how deep its impact has been. Maybe because visually we were not seeing it. Things were moving so smoothly. You know, when things are all good, you don't tend to see some of the difficulties. Like our sister Lerato said, when it's all good, it's good. You find you're comfortable. The possibilities are coming. Yes, you see it. You count your blessings. But then when you stop seeing those possibilities, when you stop seeing those opportunities, and then we start dwelling more on the impossibilities, the difficulties. And sometimes we even want to go to the step of even giving up. You don't want to do it again. So that is the environment, the context in which we are right now. It feels like diversity, equity, inclusion is under attack here in the United States. And that impact is being felt globally throughout the state legislators, companies, and private as well. Nobody is spared from it. You may not be aware right now because you have not seen it impact you physically, or you have not experienced a tangible impact. So it may not mean anything. So perhaps this will be an opportunity for you to realize that, yes, this is how good it was. This is the difficulty that we are all having and is going on right now. And when it happens, don't give up. We continue to strive and hope that tomorrow becomes better. So again, for those who may not have seen our slides on diversity, equity, inclusion, this is just a snapshot to give you an idea. When we talk of diversity, I already talked about that. Equity is all about fairness, everyone treating everybody with fairness. Inclusion, a sense of belonging. We all want to belong wherever we are, at home, at work. And when we talk of diversity dimensions, there are many more. This is not the entire list. We think of diversity, inclusion, equity in terms of race, ethnicity, age, gender, sexual orientation, religion, physical abilities, political beliefs, socioeconomic status, and ideologies, geographic and academic. All of this, it is a part of what makes us who we are as a unique human being, different from each other. So then, DEI today, how can we look at it to really understand the real life meaning to us as individuals, in our families, in the society, and the world? And at the same time, we will try to have a conversation about some of the assumptions or the negative myths about DEI. Here in the United States, it has come now to limelight that DEI, the perception is that employment for Black Americans. Until recently, it's been realized that, oh no, that was never the case. DEI, how did we know that? Because the Department of Labor has given us the statistics on who are the beneficiaries
Recording
of
stopped.
diversity, inclusion, equity. And this means
Recording in
that,
progress.
this means that we have these categories where you can see in order of ranking from the first to the eighth, who has benefited more up to date in terms of diversity, equity, and inclusion. You can see the white men, white women, Latino, Hispanics, Asians, Native Americans, disabled Americans, veterans, LGBT, Black Americans, whether we are talking quantitatively or qualitatively. That has been the case. And so, one other thing that impacts diversity, equity, inclusion that will impact us is the Black History Month. We just started the month of February. Now we have also come to realize that some of these will no longer be there. And it is, again, a program that will impact people of minority. Now, let's go to use some real life examples. We want to consider a deeper understanding of really diversity, equity, inclusion. Let's take, for example, some years, I would say like in the 70s and in the 60s, we did not have in terms of employment, more women in the workforce. But today we had more women. That was thanks to diversity, equity, and inclusion. In comparison to whites or Caucasians, to Blacks, Asians, and other people of minority, that was a similar trend. Many more. Veterans. We are aware that veterans, when they go with their services to the state or each country, whether here or globally, and they return, either some return with disabilities, some return and they are fine. But then getting employment becomes an impossibility. But thanks to DEI, there was fair opportunity for them. Many were able to be employed in all the different systems, whether they're federal, the state, or local, and even international, abroad, for those who do services, those who do work abroad. When we look at even the aging population, our parents, after retirement, you are no longer considered as being effective or efficient at your job. But we have seen that this has been changing. And currently, we realize that we have many more seniors who have been employed and working all around us, thanks to DEI. Fair opportunity at earning income, at having a living, not looking at your religion, not looking at the color of your skin, the language you speak, your qualifications, as long as you were qualified for the job. It was a fair opportunity, and that is thanks to DEI. You were included. You felt a sense of belonging at your work environment, in the community, everybody. Now, with the understanding that DEI is what has brought us to where we are and all the different things that we experience at work, let's have an example of, okay, we go for services. All of us as workforce employee, whether you are with a private company or whether you are with the state. An example, you have workers that work at the federal level, you have workers that work at the state level, and you have workers that work at the local levels. DEI was able to integrate everybody at each of this level. Now, without DEI or some of these programs no longer effective, the question now becomes, is diversity still going to be something that we will see? Is inclusion going to be enough? Are we going to find ourselves represented? Because when you go to some of these offices, you need to see those who are working there to help you with what you need. And if they are, for example, let's go to the offices of unemployment, where you go and you seek for employment after you lost your job for all the different reasons. Nothing negative about you losing your job. It happens. Sometimes it's just regular seasonal layoff. sometimes it's for cause, but whatever it is, sometimes you are merely transitioning, you relocated, sometimes it's family, conflict that doesn't permit you to maintain your current job, and you go there. You find that the diversity of the employees that you find in an employment office at the local level, at the state, will be the people around that area. For example, if it's a minority community that is Black, then you find that the employees will be Black. If it's a community that is Caucasian, you find that that community is Caucasian or Asian or a blend. That is diversity there represented. And with us not having some of these programs again in place, that means we will lose diversity, and you may not be able to have the services that you need. Do you think it may impact you directly or indirectly? Yes, it will at some point in time. We all experienced the shortage of nurses during the flu, COVID-19. Because at that level, we realized that all the way down, we saw that the nurses, the doctors, those who were in the field as the professionals, the doctors, many of them we saw a shortage. And there was a need to hire more nurses, more doctors to be able to replace those that were still needed. High demand and diversity and inclusion at that point made it possible. But as COVID virus increased and there was loss of life and many more, there was still more and more shortage. And guess what? The minority group or the diversity group that we all know here that is involved in the nursing field, many could not get in there. And so we see the negative part of when we do not have diversity to open up fairness, to allow many more people to be able to have employment opportunities. I'm not saying you should employ those that are not qualified. No, a fair chance to everybody increases. Fair employment increases opportunity, increases continuity, increases retention at our job places. So that in the need of paperwork services, if others are not there, you have someone else. We do not want a situation where we are right now, where workers are afraid to go to work because of the present atmosphere. If you are no longer feeling protected, if you feel that you don't feel belonging, inclusion, you are no longer included. You cannot be yourself. You cannot be your true self at your job. Community centers, hospitals, doctors, in restaurants, all of these places. It did not seem like you were going to be impacted, but because we see the diverse community that have been doing these jobs, this employment, now they are no longer there. And what you need, or sometimes you go out the services you need, you can no longer get them. Yes, that is how you are impacted. And in no way this conversation is about making you or giving you advice or anything. This is only for educational purposes. So I want to say that let's use an example of the United States agency that offers aids here locally and international, how this impact may be. We have health organizations, groups that work through the United Nations, we have NGOs, and we have many more organizations that people work with, Americans, abroad, overseas. Now there is a situation where without diversity, inclusion, and equity, which translates to funding no longer available to run these programs, you have medicines, you have vaccines, you have equipment. These things are part of what is needed already in programs that are functional out of the United States and within the United States. But these medications, these vaccines, this equipment cannot be reached. So consider treatment for parents, mothers. With, for example, like the AIDS. Children are now able to be born today without the AIDS disease, thanks to medicine. Without some of these, we will realize that even someone who is not an American citizen is going to be impacted. Those who take upon the services and travel abroad to be able to be there to offer these services will no longer be able to do that because there will be a shortage in employment for those who may already be there. And if funds have been frozen where people cannot receive their payment, their salary, they cannot earn income, how do they come and offer you the services? So you see how the impact ripples down. You will not be able to get the medicines. And that will have consequences to even the mother and the unborn child. Those in agriculture, those who produce food, same thing. It's a whole network of programs. The food banks, our environment, water, air, environmental conservation projects that are supposed to be going on here and also abroad. You have NGOs that are specialized only in some of these areas. And when it comes to their grants and funding, it is all the way from here. But the fact that these aspects of DEI that has been impacted and rolled back stops the funding, stops the grant, limits employment, does not have that possibility of hiring more people or new people into those positions. And so the impact ripples down to you. You may not have your grant in time when you need it. That means you will not be able to carry out your projects. You may not be able to pay your own employees that you have. So not only here is this impacting our lives, but also international. Diplomacy, we talk of diplomacy, peace. Those who are familiar with Peace Corps, they live here, they travel, they go there. Those who work with United Nations, like researchers, doctors in the labs where they go and they carry out researches in pandemic situations or endemic situations. Here it will be employment will be citizens of the United States, but locally it's employment with the locals of, but they are still under employment with the United States. And with this, it simply means less employment, less job, no income. Equity is no longer on the table. You cannot bargain your salary. Or if it is frozen, you will not get paid when you are supposed to get paid. So yes, it is going to impact you in one form, shape, or another. So ask yourself, are you going to give up because all of this is happening? No, our sister Lerato just shared us the mindset. These did not just happen. The historical context also tells us that this came as a result of the civil rights movement, affirmative action, all of this. So we do not give up. It's going to be limiting, it's going to be challenging, but we do not give up. We strive again to make it better. We strive again to find access the best that we can with what we have that is available. But we understand that it's going to be a little bit difficult. I already talked about those who are in the agriculture field and then the United Nations. And while I was preparing this presentation, one thing that crossed my mind was, oh, okay. Now I see how diversity, inclusion, equity may impact me, because I was reflecting in the 70s and 80s when we used to have American doctors who come and work with us, or teachers for those of us who have experienced American Peace Corps. You have teachers, you have doctors. And we realize, it just occurred to me that at a certain point in time, all we had were white men. And then coming down to the year 2000 and forward, we started seeing women too. And as I was reading through, I said, oh, okay, so this will be a very, insightful realization of how inclusion has helped to add or to give a fair chance to many more women for this opportunity, if they so choose, if they so desire, to get out there and work on behalf of the government or their agency, wherever they want to go. So we already have seen that when we make changes without understanding the full context of how diversity, inclusion, equity may impact us in our daily lives, there will be difficulties. It turns out that you will be opening up room for discrimination, limiting others out there who may have the skills, the potential to be able to do the job that you may want. And so the purpose of this is all about, we do not have any more misunderstanding of what really diversity, inclusion, equity is, how it works through our institutions, how it impacts our lives, and to be able to educate ourselves and educate our friends and our sisters of how this will impact them. I know in one of my previous, the slides that just passed, we were talking about, oh, okay, some women realizing that they have been impacted by their jobs, they are losing their jobs because DEI is no longer a program that is protecting everybody. Because of that myth, that misunderstanding that it was associated only to the people of minority. Protection for everybody, giving everybody a fair chance. Work at earning an income, at living the best life that you can live. And also taking it one step further, today we realize that it's a big day here for those of us in America. Sports is also one way that incorporates or that showcases diversity, inclusion, equity, as we know, whether you're here or you are out. And interestingly, for this year's Super Bowl, it's all about the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. Yay! Though I am all for the Eagles. But let's look at it. Look for those, the diversity in the two teams. You have Africans, you have Caucasians, you have everybody, the athletes, the teams, the supporters, everybody coming in unison, unified in love for the sports, for gamesmanship. That is a true exemplification of diversity, inclusion, equity, and how best to show that on a day like this, that it is actually happening. And I can't wait to root for my Eagles to be the winners of today. Whether you win or you lose, all of us are still part of the whole conversation of diversity, inclusion, and equity. Work at home and in everything that we do. So I encourage everyone, let us try to get along. Let us learn more about ourselves. Let us understand better and be better human beings when we have the conversation about diversity, inclusion, and equity. So, and again, this was only for educational purposes. So thank you. That brings me to the end of the presentation. I will be open for questions. Back to you, the moderator.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm not the moderator, so I'm just waiting to hear.
All right. I believe I'll pick it up.
Okay.
Queen Kanla, I want to thank you so much for this amazing topic when it comes to DEI. I noticed why you brought this topic, but before I proceed, I want to thank our Heavenly Father for bringing everyone this afternoon, this evening, morning. It all depends upon your location. Thank you so much, Queen Lerato, for your extraordinary mindset, as well as Queen Yvonne Finn. Queen Kanla.
Yes.
We do understand. Before I call on Dr. any of the doctors, either J or Dr. P. Could you please unmute yourself and ask your question, please?
Sorry, I'm behind the camera. I am in, but not in. Trust me, I've been listening. Oh, whoa. Jesus. Dream team, I think it's ordained because the talks come and just blend.
Recording in progress.
Yes, and so a lot of people don't understand this. And thank you, Queen Kanla. I'm trying to put it back into unpassive. Okay.
Yes.
Unpassive, what is our motto? We're in it to win it. We're there to uplift humanity. We're there to promote. So if we only promote only our type, if we only promote only our community, we're not doing what our mission here as an unpassivians are. Right? So we want every community, everybody to at least be lifted up. And Queen Kanla, you said it, and I remember I had 1 or 2 Peace Corps that came, and I can remember when the ladies started coming, right?
Yes.
It's not that the less developed countries don't have teachers, but that's exposure. All of us know traveling is exposure. So this Peace Corps coming and exposing different things, even culture, is just a way to help every part of the aspect to grow. So when we make decision that we don't understand the implication, that's what I'm agreeing with you, Queen Kanla. That was I was just like, wow, you nailed it on the head. And if in the unpassive spirit,
Yes.
hopefully we understand, and that's not what we're doing. But so far, with my short time in unpassive and all of you, Dream Team and Sweet Family, I see that we try to be inclusive of everybody. It doesn't matter our accent, it doesn't matter our color, it doesn't matter what part of the world we're coming from. We're very open, and that's the right thing to do for humanity. That's what our Almighty God wants us to do. Thank you for this topic. Sorry that I'm behind the scene today, guys. I have to pay bills.
Thank you, Dr. P. You nailed it. Yes, you nailed it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. P, for your contribution. We know that you always contribute, right? Thank you. Thank you so much. Our one and only Queen Yvonne Finn, could you please proceed?
Thank you, Queen Dr. Benny. I want to thank Sister Lerato. That was an absolutely inspiring talk, as usual. And now, as to you, Queen Kanla, very well laid out. And I love the disclaimer because it is for information.
Yes.
Dr. Patience just talked about the decision, and I think you mentioned it as well. Who decided this? When was this decision made? I mean, you talked about the history of DEI and how it came about. What caused it to now be under such threat? What is the issue?
Thank you for that question. Yes, with the current administration, the U.S. current administration after the last presidential election, I think I made mention that prior to the presidential election and post-presidential election, DEI became the focal point of conversation and awareness. So yes, it is due to the changes now with the current administration. Yes, that is where the rollback of DEI is coming from.
Okay, but my next question to you is, because this is what I'm seeing, I'm thinking that it's being confused with affirmative action, which affirmative action is about quotas and preferential treatment, which is a whole different horse altogether. So how did DEI come to be lumped with that? I mean, I know that they share some of the same, what do you want to call them, initiatives or whatever, but they are not the same. One is more about legal things, and the other is, as I said, preferential treatment or filling quotas, which was always under threat. Your country, my country, it was never really embraced. But so what is the reason now that they're so linked? They're not the same. Affirmative action is not the same as DEI.
Queen Yvonne, can I just jump in? Sorry, I know you're asking Queen Kanla.
Absolutely, please.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So that is why people misunderstood what DEI was.
Absolutely.
They were taking it as affirmative action.
Yeah.
And even in the affirmative action days, you have to qualify. To be honest, you have to at least meet the minimum. You have to at least meet the minimum requirement.
Exactly.
But even though they went away from affirmative action and said, okay, look, there are lots of people that come in and they cannot come to jobs or this because of we know the history of humanity, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So people still mix up, they're still mixing up that DEI is affirmative action.
It is
Okay.
not. It's
And
not.
right now they're finding out. A lot of people have gone and done research and realized that that was not the purpose of that program. The purpose was to make sure that our workers represent our community.
Right.
That is what, yeah. So that is how it's just us that uninformed. They say my people die because of lack of knowledge. Because of the lack of
Absolutely.
knowledge, they're uninformed, they have equated DEI to affirmative action. You are right. And that's what is causing all this mess.
And knowledge misapplied also, because as Sister Kanla talked about the consequences, knowledge, you think you know something, but it's not what it is.
Yes.
And so again, I still want to know why I don't, okay, so we're saying it's the new administration, but why was the decision taken? Is it because of scarcity, fear? What is driving this in your estimation, Queen Kanla? What is the reason that this was one of the first things to be attacked? What do you think caused it?
Yeah, in as much as it may look as it was the first thing to be attacked, but this is something that has been going on for a long while now.
It's
You
been
know,
brewing. Okay.
yes, it's been brewing, and it is just back to what Queen Patience said: misinformation, disinformation, the understanding, thinking that this was affirmative action. Meanwhile, it all along it has been
Was
diversity
not.
and
Yeah.
inclusion, and the fact that all of us in the workforce, or many of those who could not see how it was actually working for them, right? The tangibleness of you seeing that I am a part of DEI.
Yes.
And not affirmative. Affirmative action simply is your qualification.
Yes, exactly.
But without DEI, you may be qualified, but you will not get the fair opportunity.
Exactly. Absolutely.
You can be qualified, but you will not have a fair income bargaining power if you go for your interview.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
You may be qualified, but if you find yourself in an environment where the workforce, the environment doesn't feel belonging, you cannot even try to think of introducing DEI. Who is going to give you the opportunity? So basically, DEI was the barrier that brought down the ceiling,
yes,
and allowed everybody to be able to have a fair chance. But because we were not seeing it, it was all happening in the background, whether through, it's a human resource. One of the things that we work on, ensure that everybody that comes from the applicant pool, you look at those are coming, you look at the diversity after you've looked at the qualifications, and then you see how you can make that environment.
Yes, DEI.
DEI. So, but because many were not able to see that, then the understanding or the assumption was that it is.
Yeah, I hear you. So they bit the hand that fed them, basically.
Correct. Correct. They beat the hand that fed them. Exactly. Because right now your employer can stand up and decide that, I'm reducing my workforce today.
Yes.
I no longer need to have a balanced workforce with diversity. I am streamlining to what I so desire, what I choose.
Yeah.
But DEI was there to tell them that no, it is the law. You need to be inclusive.
Yes.
Inclusion, include everybody.
Yeah. So the checks and balances are now coming down. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
It's very unfortunate, and as you're pointing out, it's not going to stay within the borders of the USA. However, it's going to spread like a cancer. So, all right, thank you, sister. I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Queen Dr. Benny. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, my queen. I appreciate your contribution. Thank you. Queen Mama Edith, could you please unmute yourself and share your contribution or any question you have? Thank you. Unmute yourself, please.
Yes, thank you. Good evening. That's what it is where I am.
Yes, good evening, Mama Eddie.
Can I keep my camera closed?
Sure.
I just want to thank all the presenters. Very profound what we're listening to. I want to zoom in into affirmative action. As a South African, having lived for 8 years, coming from one authority to another, discrimination, which was the order of the day. From where I come from, affirmative action had been one of the strategies to address DEI, especially in an environment where the environment that is not responsive to the need to address DEI.
Yes.
Yes, in any situation, people are human beings. There's been a tendency to abuse that affirmative action and even take people who are really not qualified for jobs, which is not what is defined in the whole action or concept of affirmative action. It's giving an opportunity to the people who have been discriminated or who have been oppressed or who have been otherwise. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Mama Edith, you nailed it. Absolutely. And that is why the two, you cannot talk about affirmative action without talking about DEI. Because one led to the other, DEI and then affirmative action. DEI was used to address affirmative action. And so the two go hand in hand. And it is left for us to understand the difference between both and how each complement the other. And that is the only way we can be able to understand full circle, the full context of what is happening first to yourself. And when you go out there as a workforce person or professional, know and be able to advocate for yourself and advocate for others. Educate yourself and educate others.
Thank you so much, Mama Edith. I appreciate your contribution or your insight. Queen Kanla,
Yes.
you make us to understand the importance of DEI, which is because it contributes to an environment where all the employees, regardless of their background, right?
Yes.
That they must have like fair opportunities to pursue their work.
Yes.
Right? Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. You're welcome, Queen Dr. Benny.
Things are happening.
I mean, it's happening. Now we talk of inclusion, right?
Yeah.
Let this example, I know I mentioned it in one of the slides, but do we recall there was a time when women were limited in terms of workforce number, women employees. And even when you were employed, there were certain things you could not do at your job, right?
Right.
If you became pregnant, you lose your job. You could not bring your baby to work. You could not breastfeed your baby. because those things were not during that time. They were not part of what was allowed in the corporate world, in business. But as diversity, inclusion became more and more applied in real life, and that is how the common term we use is work-life balance or life-work balance. In most of our workplaces, you try to balance both. Work-life balance. That should not be an excuse for you to lose your job if you are still able to perform your job.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And that is why we are seeing now in some companies, they actually have a room where nursing mothers come and they can be able to keep their children in the daycare. And they offer those services. That is inclusion for all of us.
Amen.
That is something that benefits everybody. Whether it's the mom bringing the baby to work or whether it's the dad bringing the baby to work, everybody benefits from that.
And sorry, Queen Kanla. Sorry, Dr. Benny. So Queen Edith just dropped in this. She said also there was a time when women were not paid the same salaries for the same job.
Exactly. Yep. And now we can bargain our salaries if you know that you're qualified and the job you're going, you have a fair chance with your colleagues. You can able to stand up and say, okay, that is equity, fairness. You are able to, because it was protected. The inclusion gives you that opportunity, that possibility. I'm no longer looking at how you speak, what you speak, or the color of your skin, or the height, your height, or your... No. We don't look at that. Can you perform the job? Are you capable of doing it? Once you meet the criteria, credential, it's a fair game for everybody, as long as you want to work.
In Kanla, yes, Mama Edith is right. I mean, long time ago, yes, women were underpaid, but whoever brought that idea at that moment, I wish I was there. I know, because I will ask a question. Remember, we do have single parents, right? Mommy is there taking care of, let me say, 4 or 5 children. What are the men doing? What I'm saying that I will argue with them because it is not fair. We are all humans. The women are the one taking good care of those kids and men are not. I will argue and argue, and then we'll see who is who. Nonsense. No, I'm serious. But I'm glad that nowadays there is no more discrimination. Your experience matter, especially in United States. If you have that experience, you have the education, because some other jobs, when you go there, if you don't have education, you will not get a job. But there are some jobs that if you have experience without the education, you will get a job. So it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman.
Yeah.
I get mad, right?
Absolutely. You nailed it. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. Well said.
Thank you. One thing that you make us to understand with this diversity. So by bringing in diverse perspective, organization also will create a space where multiple voices are heard and innovative can flourish. So with this on-passive, that's why I'll just bring it to on-passive.
Yes.
With on-passive, we all pay $102. And those who were able to pay the 143, all of us pay that 143. So if you have more accounts, yes, when the time comes, you make more. If you have just one account, hey, you pay that amount, all of us pay the same, so we are all the same, right? On-passive is the real place to be.
Yes. Yes. You and Dr. Pat just laid it out brightly. So if I'm adding to make unpassive, let's like visualize in the context of DEI. Diversity. Visually, imagine unpassive, India, the continent of Africa, Asia, here in America, and Europe. These are all diverse individuals with different backgrounds, different experience, different upbringings, different professional experiences or occupations. And yet, our center, what holds us together, what binds us together is unpassive. But we are diversified. At the same time, that is inclusion exemplified.
It is.
Everyone is included. Regardless of your race, age, well, whatever that is going on. No, you are included as long as you made it in. You were able to be there, you joined, you've been participating, you feel a sense of belonging. That is inclusion. And many more will still be included because, hey, when our ecosystem will reopen, how many more are we looking at or hoping that are going to jump right into the possibility, the opportunity, and become part of this unpassive family? That is even more inclusion on the way. Still opening up the doors for many more to come in. And with them, expanding our diversity further and further. I'm going to have many grandmas right there in the village who cannot even speak English, but they will know about unpassive. I will have my siblings somewhere, and then like Dr. P would always say, you travel to a place where you've never known anybody, and guess what? You begin to find your unpassive sister or brother family there. It stands to unpassive. That is diversity and inclusion working right with us. It has been with us all along from the beginning. If only we can now, in this context, be able to see it, visualize it, internalize it, and understand and appreciate how much unpassive is. Diversity, inclusion, and equity. And the equity comes with respect to our registration. Everybody was the same across the board. That is fairness. It wasn't based because of your income level, not what you earned. No, the same for everybody. The poor dad, the rich mom in the village, you paid the same amount, 140. You who is here in America, you paid 140 in the equivalence of your currency. Everybody the same. In the future, when our ecosystem opens, it's going to be the same. The same for everybody. You get in at the same level. And the earnings is going to be the same at each of the level, depending on the number of accounts that you have. But the fairness, the equity is that everyone who is in is a winner. Everyone who is in is going to get some apples falling down. And that is our hope. That is our dream. Is what we are looking for. Just that fairness to make it, that fairness to belong. That fairness, just give us that opportunity, that possibility. Let us be there and do the rest. That is unpassive for us. So thank you. Over to you, Dr. Benny.
Thank you. I know that we did not I know we're supposed to do like the question and discussion, but we were supposed to start with the updates. Yeah. I would like the update team to please give us an update. King Dr. Derek, and I know that Queen Kanla will go part. Okay. Oh, proceed, King Dr. Derek.
Mhm. All right, wonderful. Thank you very much. Really appreciate, really appreciate, really appreciate. Thank you very much, Queen Kanla. That was awesome. Oh my goodness. DEA. That was just a awesome presentation. Um, but the more we try to include is the more other persons and other governmental bodies are trying to exclude. So don't worry about that. It happens. But good presentation, very good presentation, awesome presentation. Really appreciate it, Queen Kanla. Thank you very much. And at this time, I know you are the main presenter wearing the hat, and also you are the person on the updates team wearing this hat. But I will just allow you to introduce yourself, Queen Kanla, as part of the update team.
Sure, Dr. D. Thank you as well. My name is Kanlange from the state of Delaware, the first state. And I'm also part of the updates with Dr. Derek. All right, over to you, Dr. D.
Amen. Wonderful. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Really appreciate. Really appreciate. All right. As you know, there is no updates per se. It is still just waiting until everything is go from our CEO, Ash Mufareh. So just be patient. Just be patient. Get to webinars. Let the webinar soak in your bones. Read books. Read books. Read positive books. Right? Starting with the Word, the Bible, the Scripture, whatever call it in your neck of the woods. But read, because that is what will um, put your brain and put your mindset into a optimistical, a positive um, environment, so that when, not if, but when we are moving in the direction with on passive and looking at lifting up humanity and all of those good stuff, then we will be able to move forward together and not this one just running off and doing their own thing and don't care and inclusive in this whole affair that or this whole path that Ash Mufareh has brought us on. So thank you very much. Really appreciate it. As I said, there's no updates. We haven't heard directly on a webinar from our CEO, but he's there. He's in the background working assiduously to get this up and running properly for all of humanity. Over to you, Queen Kanla.
Thank you, Dr. D. Back to you, Dr. Benny.
Thank you. Thank you so much, King Dr. Derek, for your updates, making us to understand that we just need to continue to attend webinars and to just be patient and wait for our CEO to come because he is working behind the scene. People may not understand. I want to thank Queen Lerato for her mindset. She make us to understand that there are a lot of our brand ambassadors or affiliate. Like when you join a business, you just want the money right away. It doesn't work that way. That is why you need to go and look for a 9 to 5 job while waiting for unpassive. And you can still go out there and look for other jobs or online businesses while waiting. You got to be patient. It is been stated that the patient's dog eat the fattest bone. Thank you, Queen Lerato. And I'm so happy you also make us to understand that if no one say, I love you today, you love us. Yes, thank you for that. Thank you. I want to really thank our welcome team, Queen Sister Marie Pendy. Thank you so much for your love, your dedication towards this our webinar. Thank you so much, King Brother Afresh. We love you. Thank you for showing the love. When you guys welcome our affiliates here, they are happy. The way you communicate, because sometimes when you guys should notice that when people are really angry or they have problem, they come and talk to you, and what they want is just for you to listen, right? So by you welcoming them, it makes them really happy. Thank you all. Our moderator, anyway, our King Dr. Derek, as you all know, that he wears multiple hats. Thank you, King Dr. Derek, for your love and support within this company. Thank you. And you guys notice that we do have Queen Rose. She works behind the scene, YouTube, monitoring the YouTube as well. Thank you, Queen Rose. We love you with all our heart, mind, and soul. I want to thank our host, Queen Dr. Patient Ajongwen. We want to thank you for this amazing webinar. Oh, we want to thank you for the love and support that you have for us. Thank you so much, sister. Thank you. Guess what? Do you guys know who our chat monitor is?
Even see.
You guys know that she wears multiple hats as well. Queen. And whenever they ask her to do certain things, she said, it's only today, no more. Don't call me. But she has no choice because we need her here.
Thank you, Queen Dr. Benny. I appreciate that. Thank you.
We love you, sweetheart. Thank you.
Here.
And do you guys know, we do have another sister who wear, I don't know whether it's multiple hats. She's here, up there. If she's not, when she's not here to moderate, I say, God, she should better come on because I don't know. Queen Kanla, she does everything. She moderates, she presents, updates, chat monitor, question and discussion team. Queen Kanla, my sweet sister, thank you. Yes. Make sure you come next week and moderate. Thank you so much. And I really want to thank Queen Engineer Bridget. I want to say I love you. I love you with all my heart, mind, and soul. We need you here. Whatever thing is happening, come back. Queen Aisha, question and discussion team. You know we love you, right? Thank you so much. Do you guys know this other man? Our one and only doctor. He is the best. DrJohn Ajongwen. Thank you for your love and support. You always wear multiple hats anyway. Because if there is no one here to do the mindset, you have to do it. Your wife wants you to do it. You have to be here. Thank you. And I want to thank Queen Julie Pierre as well. She was doing the mindset and she does question and discussion as well. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, do we have Queen Aisha here to at least introduce herself?
I don't think she made it in today, sister. She left a message on the chat group, not Liscon, the WhatsApp. She was having problems with electricity or battery or something like that. So she said she might not make it in. I don't think she did. I don't see her.
No problem. Despite the fact that we have this DEI, when it comes to unpassive, pretty soon she is not going to have problem again. She will not. So for this question and discussion team, Queen Yvonne Finn, could you please introduce yourself?
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Benny. My name is Yvonne Finn. I live in Canada. And I am normally and ordinarily in the chat, but as you just said, I sometimes step out and wear some different hats. So thank you, Dream Team, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Queen Engineer Bridget? Okay. Queen Julie Pierre? Queen Kanla?
Yeah,
I
she
think
just listening.
Queen Julie Pierre had said she will be in the
Just listening, yeah.
yes, just listening
Okay,
as
okay,
well.
she
Yes.
said, okay.
Mhm.
Queen Kanla, despite
Yes.
you wear 666 hats, could you please introduce yourself?
Thank you, my queen, First Lady of Unpassive. When the First Lady calls, you answer. Yes, I am here. So thank you, my First Lady. I am Kanla from the first state of Delaware, and I am always honored as well to be part of this wonderful Q&A team. So over to you, Queen.
Thank you so much. My name is D. Benny, or D Money. The D stand for Dr. Money. So,
I like the sound of that. Positivity or positive mindset.
oh man, I know I'm going to be rich. There is no doubt. And no one can stop me. And if you're not rich, you can be with me. Thank you. Queen Eva Queen.
I will follow suit. Thank you.
No,
No question?
no questions in the chat, but I just want to continue asking Queen Kanla something.
Please.
Because I know the genesis. I know what you said, that the new administration came in but this was brewing for a while and everything. So I'm saying, what is the reason? I mean, if it was working smoothly, as you said, and everybody was being fed, I like to use that analogy. And so is it economic uncertainty? Is it lack, scarcity? What caused this tension to come to a head? Why is it now so under so much threat? Like it might go, is it possible to go away or just rework? What is your thinking on that?
Thank you for that question. Yep, I will try to answer it. I hope if I miss any of the parts, I know you asked, I think about 3 parts.
Yeah.
Will it go away? No.
Okay. All right.
It will not go away, but some parts of it have been limited.
Okay.
Because that is our government, the administrative or the administration. Every time you have a different administration, they do things differently. The next one may come and reinstate and even do things differently, or they may choose to maintain some, or they may choose to update and do it in a different way. So yes, no, it will not go away entirely. Can it be made better? Yes, it would be made better. Now, as to how, I am not a politician. I am not in the administration. We leave that to them to figure out, but it's information that is out there.
Absolutely.
We just need to be aware of what is going on, educate yourself, and be informed so that it will help you make informed decisions. Yes. And then refresh my mind, what was the other part?
Is it the economic times? Is there scarcity and lack of jobs or opportunities? What is driving it? Why was it? Why is the issue? What?
Yes. Okay. To the best of my knowledge, what I've read, in the past, it was an issue because the discrimination was one-sided. It was more towards the Black people of minority. So that's why I said the conversation was already there, years, hundreds of years in it. It's nothing new.
Okay.
So while this discrimination, employment discrimination was there, the civil rights movement now signed into law by then President Lyndon Johnson is what helped reduce that visibility of the discrimination, but it didn't mean it was still not there.
Okay.
It was still there, but somehow, we can never ever eliminate it entirely, but at least to a standard where there was a fair chance for everybody.
It was under control then, you were saying.
Correct. It was under control. So now what has caused this conversation we are having is because rolling back what was already in place, it means you are taking everyone back to what it was before.
I got you.
Limiting these opportunities, limiting these possibilities, it means some companies will have the full right just to blatantly say, I am not hiring you. And there is nothing you can do about it. It's not about your qualification.
Yes.
They can decide for whatsoever reason they may choose not to hire you. They can decide not to hire you because of your race. They may choose not to hire you because of how you speak. They may choose not to hire you because you don't fit the mold or who they are looking at. Let's talk. I know the last time we talked about diversity, Dr. Benny talked about the weight. Think about that in the modeling industry, or think about that in the fashion industry, right? Now there have been progress to the extent where you have fashion for both people who are, slimmer frame and people who are there. But now anybody with a startup business can decide that I don't want it. There is nothing that will protect any other person that may want to feel belonging, even if you love their fashion.
Yes.
You can love their fashion, but you will not feel you will not feel that sense of belonging if you go there.
Yes.
And they will not have any reason to open up to you.
Yeah. And the person being discriminated against won't have any recourse either.
No, you don't. Because who do you go to?
Right.
You can't call your state representative. You can't call them because it's no longer in place. You can't call the governor. No.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. It could become, so it's heartening to hear you say it will not completely go away. And so it might be amplified depending on who looks at it next or whatever like that. So
correct. Yeah.
And how we advocate, of course, that is always important. Yeah.
It is, at this point in time, it is you advocate for yourself and for others.
Okay. Thank you, sister.
Because then we can move the trajectory of the conversation. We can change the conversation. If many more people are for it, then positive changes will be made. More and more positive changes will be made, and it will only get better.
Always. Thank you, sister. I appreciate that.
I like your question, and then your answer as well. You make us to understand, which I know already, knowing that this 4 years, nothing will change. Okay, this particular 4 years.
Never say never, Sister Benny.
Are you kidding me? It's happening
Yes,
right
but
now.
God is still on his throne. You don't forget that. And I know you believe in him.
Well, I know Papa God has done something, but what I'm saying is that at this moment, this 4 years, trouble.
It looks bleak. Yes, I know.
It looks bleak.
And that is why we have unpassive. You understand?
Amen.
So
Yes.
let me just tell anybody. People should start coming to join unpassive.
Yes.
Because for this 4 years coming, this 4 years right now, you better join unpassive.
That's right.
Because after 4 years, then you will not have problem anymore.
Exactly.
So I just want to thank our Heavenly Father. Seriously.
Yeah.
This amazing, should I say extraordinary CEO to all of us.
Uh-huh.
Like I said, he make us to understand that no one can stop on passive except God, right?
Right.
That is why he is working behind the scene to make everybody. We do have, I think it's 195 countries, what I know of, but according to Unpassive, it's 200 and something countries.
Correct.
So he's working harder to make sure that all the poor people, even my own country, Cameroon, those in the village, that they will enjoy Unpassive.
Right.
Despite all the DEI, we are going to enjoy if you join Unpassive, if you are patient.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Any question?
Unpassive is the answer to DEI. Yes, unpassive.
Yes, it is.
Hey, do
No.
we have nothing?
I'm sorry, Dr. Derek? Okay, all right. Mhm.
Okay,
Thanks, Dr. Benny. No, no questions on the chat. Nothing.
thank you. So now I am going to ask my queen, Kanla, for something good. Could you please give us your closing remarks?
Yes, Queen Dr. Benny, thank you. My closing remarks will be that together, this is a conversation, a dialogue that will help us. It may not be helpful to you at this moment in time, but it will be helpful and useful to you tomorrow in the future. You may know someone who may be going through a similar experience right now. They may have lost their job and they did not understand this whole concept of diversity, inclusion, and equity. Because I know sometimes, even me, I've had the experience where at one of my jobs, a colleague did not even understand what diversity was and was questioning why we had so many people of minority at the job place. Because you will realize that in some companies, like let me use specifically the healthcare field, that is a field that is the professionals are majority people of minority, whether it's Indians, whether it's Asians, or whether it's Africans. Then at some point in time, you will go to the community, the local level, where you have the program that takes care of the senior assisted living facilities where the seniors live. Again, that is a program that you find employment only for people of minority. You have Hispanics, you have Africans, you have Latinos. And then in a smaller number, you will find a Caucasian in your mix. And then the Caucasian turns around and asks, I don't understand how come there are so many Black people, or there are so many Latinos, or there are so many Hispanics in the profession. Because they are not aware that due to diversity, inclusion, now people have the opportunity to be able to have this job, to come to this job. And if that is what they qualify for, and if that is what they come and apply for and they want to work, they are given a fair chance. If they don't do it, who is going to do the jobs? The services will be there, but if there is nobody to do it. So you see that the programs now open it up for those in the community with the qualifications that are willing and able to do the jobs, and not wait on or hoping on those whom you think or you believe that they may want to do the job, but meanwhile they don't want to do the job. So it's all about the education, it's all about the awareness, it's all about the exposure. And in your own time, do more research and learn and educate yourself, and you realize that this is never a dull topic. This is never something that you can read and you get bored with it. There is always something that will, give you a spark in your brain, and you're like, oh, now I see. Oh, so this is how it works. Oh, this is what it meant. It's an intriguing topic, and you will be so much glad and happy that you educated yourself, you expose yourself to the conversation. And so I encourage all of us to do that. And thank you. And I'm looking forward to our subsequent topics, maybe something else in another perspective. And we just go and we keep having this dialogue with all of you. So thank you, and back to you.
I can just add something quickly. It's all connected with immigration as well, is it not? Because
it is.
Yes, yes. I just realized what you were saying. And when your country, your nation invites people of a certain part of the world to come, what do they think is going to happen? They're coming for jobs. So
Exactly.
they are integrated. Thank you, Queen Kanla.
Exactly.
You really do make it pop. It does pop. Thank you.
You're welcome. It is directed to immigration. Immigration is the first thing that brings us here. And then from immigration, we get into the diversity, inclusion, employment, everything. That's the knock, that's the door that opens it up.
All right. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you both. Thank you, Queen Yvonne Finn, for your contribution. Yes, I am going to stop the recording at the moment, but I just want to thank Queen Kanla for your presentation. I think this particular topic is really important, especially for this administration. Thank you. This topic is making us to really understand what is going on in the whole wild world, and for us to accept it, even though I didn't want to accept it, but I don't have a choice at the moment. Thank you. All right, I'm stopping it. Yes, I want to stop it.
Recording stopped.
All right. At this moment, I don't know if Queen Dr. Pat is available to say something before we can close. Queen Dr. P, are you available, please?
That will give us time for those who are going to watch the Super Bowl.
Sorry, guys. Just keep doing your thing. Thank you, guys. Keep doing what you're doing.
Okay.
All right. Thank
you, Dr. Pat. We understand you are there. Appreciate it, sis.
I appreciate you, Queen Dr. Pat, for all your love and support. Continue to take care of Mama. It's all right. She will be fine in the name of Jesus. Well, I would like each and everyone to unmute yourself. Say something. We are in it to win it.
We are in it to win it.
We are in it to win it.
King Carlton, thank you so much for loving the Dream Team.
We are in it to win it. Thank you all. Thank you. Love you all. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Doris.
Party.
To win it in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Session
Amen.
Everybody, and bye.
Oh, love you.
Love you.
Gary.
Hamza. Hamza. Yeah. We have survived. I'm here. overcome. Bye, sugar.
Thank you. Thank you,
Shall
everyone in it to win it.
Good job, Queen Kanla.
Thank you, Nancy. I'm happy I was able to share something with everyone.
Oh, yes, it's wonderful. We got it. We got it.
Thanks
for the information.
Thank you.
All right. King Dr. Derek, you know you have the yam and the knife. As before we leave, I want each and everyone to know, the leaders, we are all leaders, right? Dr. Pat is ready for us. So can you just come in the next 3 minutes?
Thank you very much. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. King Dr. Derek, do something.
Bye.
Bye.
Mr. Derek, run the show, run the other show, please. All of you, the second show, you guys run it, please.
Right.
I will just send what the tentative is in the chat, please, please, please.
We transitioning or we just stay here?
No. You go in and
We have
transition.
to end it, but the only person to end it is Dr. Derek.
Yes, okay. Dr. Derek will open the next one for you guys, please.
No problem. We're just gonna sit Queen Kanla while waiting for him to come, right?
Yep.
I want to thank each and everyone. I love you all. What else can I say?
Yep. I love everybody.
Kanla, you're calling him, right?
Dr. Derek?
Yes, please.
Every time I switch to my phone, I'm always not having a
The
mic.
reception.
Yep.
Yes, there were so many. I'm always forgetting that they should give me a host or at least a co-host so I can talk. Huh? But right now,
A
somebody
co-host cannot,
opened it.
a co-host cannot stop. Let me see.
No. I'm not talking about stopping.
Okay.
I'm saying during the questions and discussion,
yes,
I wasn't able to open my mic to speak because I switched to my cell phone.
Okay.
So I want to say, maybe I'd let somebody that I'm switching. Because right now I was listening, but I'm doing some chin here while I'm listening in the kitchen. So I wasn't able to say something during the questions and discussion. So now at least somebody let me have the mic to speak. It was such a very powerful presentation, Queen Kanla. Yvonne was asking about the why. The bottom line is racism.
We didn't want to say it after, when
the bottom line was racism.
Yep.
And they feel now all the office jobs will be taken by certain color people, while others cannot. The desk jobs, the high-paying jobs, the managerial jobs, all that will be taken. Will be given by certain uh, cultural people. While those that may be qualified for that job may not have it. So those are the implications of what will happen. Things will be, I'm telling you, we don't know. We just pray that this and this shall come to pass. Maybe for 4 years, or
4 years.
if somebody remains in power, because I hear there's the paperwork to be placed so that
for him to
things
continue.
can just continue, then it will be for long. But
It's not fair.
The next leader can come and strap everything and put